Alright, what's up guys? We should be live. Should be good to go. We got a 7-game Friday night slate to go over. Not too much news to talk about. There wasn't too much that came out during the day. We're kind of waiting for some starting lineups, but a lot of the, question marks that we needed answered, we just got answered. So I was trying to, figure out who was going to start in place of Monte Morris. I thought that was going to be important for value for today. And we just got word that Bones Highland will be starting for Monte Morris. So, Bones Highland, I definitely like for value now. We just got word that Devin Vassell will start for the Spurs. So I'm guessing Devin Vassell is going to be starting in place of Derek White, who's no longer on the team. So I think Devin Vassell is someone we can look to. And, that's about it. I mean, there hasn't been too much value today, or too much news that's, opened up any value. We got word that Brogdon was out, but that was kind of expected. We got word Cade Cunningham's going to play. Tyrese Maxey and Shake Milton were both questionable, but they're both playing. So, yeah, it's just really a lot of the questionable guys are all playing. The only guy that got ruled out, I think, was Brogdon. We did get word, though, that Darius Garland is out. I don't know if that changes too much, but I think, Karis LeVert in a revenge game, I think LeVert, we already got word that he's starting at point guard. I think LeVert starting at point guard for the Cavs, his role should be pretty good without Garland. He didn't play very well in his debut. He didn't play a ton of minutes. He came off the bench. But I think now that he's starting at point guard without Darius Garland, I think LeVert's a pretty appealing tournament play. He should be really low owned. I did want to hit on him. But there's not much news to talk about today. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and throw those in chat. We'll be live to about 6:30, trying to answer all your guys' questions. And hopefully we can win some money on this slate. Where's the value coming other than the Hornets? I think Bones Highland, now that he's starting, I like Bones Highland for value. I think Devin Vassell, he's in play for value. Goga's still pretty cheap. I'm guessing Goga will start at center for the Pacers, so I like Goga. We'll have to wait and see who starts at power forward. I think it could be O'Shea Brissett who starts at power forward for the Pacers. And O'Shea Brissett is only 3,700. So, he's another guy that I think we can look to for value. There's actually some decent value on this slate. You have Brissett, you have Goga, you have Vassell, you have Highland. There's a good amount of cheap options that I do like today. I like Embiid tonight for some reason, but Joker at the same time. Embiid, if the Thunder can keep the game close, Embiid should absolutely crush. The Thunder have no one to guard Embiid. I just worry about blowout there. Jokic, it's a tough matchup for Jokic, but man, Jokic is just so good. He could put up 70 tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised. So both those guys are obviously in play. I just worry about blowout with Embiid, and I worry about, tougher matchup for Jokic. But, man, can't go wrong with either one. Javonte Green or DeAndre Hunter? Oh, man, Scott, if I had to pick one, I guess I'd go Hunter. Best value play under 4K. Also smash that like button. Yeah, guys, hit the like button if you have not yet. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Appreciate all the questions. We'll get through all these questions. If you have not yet, hit that like button. Best value under 4K. My favorite value under 4K is probably Highland. Now that we do know that Bones is starting, I do like Bones for value. Gordon, Bogdan, or Vassell. Give me Vassell there. Let's do it, Noah. Let's get it, my man. Let's get it. What a freaking slate. I got Murray, Highland, Oubre, Vassell, Collins, LaMelo, Aaron Gordon, Diallo. Diallo, I'm a little hesitant on Diallo now that Cade's back. I didn't think Cade was going to play, but with Cade playing, I think that makes Diallo, Jeremy Grant look a little less appealing. But I think the rest of that lineup looks okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in Shake Milton. I'm guessing Shake Milton will be on a minutes limit. With Maxey playing, I don't really know how much Milton really plays. So I'm not interested in Shake Milton. Giddey, Rozier, Russell, or Edwards? Give me Rozier from those four. Yeah, Diallo with Cade back, I think is still playable, but I would be a little bit hesitant on Diallo. We'll have to wait and see who the Pistons start. I know they've been they brought Diallo off the bench some games. If Diallo goes to the bench, then I would probably be off of him. But if he's still starting, I think Diallo is playable. I just do question his upside with Cade back in the lineup now. What about Tatum? He is in a slump, but any day now. Tatum, he's in a slump. He's not playing that well, but Tatum's still a really good player. He obviously can put up a huge game any night. On this slate, does Tatum really stand out? I don't think so. I'd rather go to Jokic, Embiid, Murray, Trey, LaMelo. Those are all guys I'd rather play over Tatum. But, Tatum should be low owned, so if you want to play him in tournaments, I don't hate it. Any love for Rondo as a sneaky GPP play? I think with them starting LeVert at point guard, I don't know how much Rondo really plays. He might play 20 minutes, but his price is up. He's 4,200 now, or 4,100, so I mean, Rondo probably plays like 20 minutes. I could see him doing well in 20 minutes, but on this slate, I don't think he stands out. Is Bones Highland in play? Yes. Now, especially now that he's starting, I think Bones looks really good. Would you go Brissett and Diallo, or I have no idea who that is. Nita DR? I don't know. And someone at forward you recommend with 4,100 left, excluding Vassell? I mean, who is Nita? I have no idea. You have to ask that again, Nicholas. Oh, Bataze, I got you. Okay, so would you go Brissett and Diallo or Bataze and someone at forward you recommend with 4,100 left, excluding Vassell? Basically, Brissett and Diallo, or I mean, I would probably go Brissett and Goga if you can do that, because you can play. If Brissett starts at the 4 for the Pacers, I think O'Shea Brissett will be another value play to consider, and I think they will start O'Shea Brissett at the 4. They're probably going to start Halliburton, Duarte. Maybe Buddy Hield starts, and then Brissett at the 4, Goga at the 5. That'll probably be who the Pacers start, but we'll have to wait and see. Thoughts on Thibault? I'm not that interested in Thibault. He's a guy that I really don't ever play. He's a good defender. That's what he's out there for, is his defense. For fantasy, he doesn't offer a ton of upside unless he gets like a ton of blocks and steals, which he can do, but I wouldn't bank on it. Highland or Joseph? I'd rather have Bones for sure. Especially with Cade Cunningham playing, I don't really have any interest in Corey Joseph. Buddy Hield, Marcus Smart. I mean, Buddy Hield, if he winds up starting, I think Buddy Hield's an interesting tournament play. Nobody's going to play Buddy Hield. He's been terrible when he was with the Kings. Like, the last week or so has been god-awful for Buddy Hield. He's been shooting the ball terribly. But now he's on a new team. You know, maybe things change. Maybe his role is better. It's a lot of question marks when you have guys playing for new teams. It's their first game with their new team. But if they do start Buddy Hield, if the Pacers start Buddy Hield, I think he's in play. You like Bataze, or will Jackson being ruled in hurt his minutes? I think Goga still plays a good amount. I mean, it's a matchup against Cleveland where you're going to have some bigs out there. You can't go small against Cleveland. So I think Goga plays 30 minutes if he stays out of foul trouble. I'm guessing that Goga will still start as well. We'll have to wait and see what the Pacers starting lineup actually is. LeVert revenge game over ball ownership. I mean, I wouldn't hate that. Like, I think LaMelo's a really good play. I think LaMelo's, one of the best pay-up options today, but he's going to be popular. I mean, LaMelo right now, his projected ownership is 25%, and LeVert's is 0.2%. Now, I think LeVert's projection will probably go up now that he's starting at point guard, but yeah, like, LeVert's going to be way lower owned than LaMelo. I mean, I don't hate making that pivot if you want to. Vassell or Kendrick Williams? I prefer Vassell. Murray, Levine, Ball, Vassell, Dort, Kendrick Williams, Stewart, Highland. I think that's solid, Brandon. I like that. Murray and Young, or Murray and Ball. So Ball versus Young. Between Trae Young or LaMelo, I slightly lean LaMelo. You like Kobe White scale of 1 to 10? As Kobe White's value all depends on if Io plays. If Io plays, I don't have any interest in Kobe White. But if Io is out again, we saw last game with Io out, Kobe White played 38 minutes. So, I mean, he wasn't super productive, but he's going to play huge minutes if Io's out. So, I think Kobe White would be in play if Io is out. If Io plays, I wouldn't be going to Kobe White personally. In utility, Trae Young or Towns on DK? I would prefer Trae over Towns. Campazzo in play? I think now that Bones is starting, I don't have any interest in Campazzo. I thought there was a chance that Campazzo could start, but now that they're starting Bones, like, I really just don't know how much Campazzo plays. He hasn't even been in the rotation lately, so he might get a DMP for all we know. So I think now that Bones is starting, Bones is the value play I like from Denver. Campazzo, I'm not really on. Anderson, Donovan Mitchell. I think it's a good matchup for Donovan Mitchell. Orlando's a bad defensive team. The only worry is blowout. I mean, Orlando's so bad. Like, this game could be over by halftime for all we know. Utah's a really good team. They're playing at home. That's the one worry. But, like, if the game stays close and Donovan Mitchell plays 35, 36 minutes, I mean, he could absolutely crush. But, blowout is a concern there in that Utah game. Which contest do you like on Yahoo, and do you prefer Yahoo or DK? I prefer Yahoo over DraftKings. Yahoo was the first DFS site I ever played on. So, I've been playing on Yahoo basically since they started. Which contest do I like? I mean, it all comes down to, like, how many lineups you're playing. But, like, so Yahoo, they don't really have, like, a ton of... Let me see, I'll pull up the lobby here. They don't have, like, a ton of massive contests, but, you got a $12 with, 50K total prizes, 10K to first. It all depends on what buy-in level you're looking for. How much money are you going to have in play? They have some higher stakes stuff if you're higher stakes, but there's not many people in these. A lot of these higher stakes tournaments are kind of filled by pro players, but it all just comes down to how much money you're willing to have in play, how much you play on a nightly basis. I would say just play some lineups in these big tournaments. I mean, $12 to enter, $10K to first. There's only 4,000 entries, so it's not like you're having to beat a shit ton of people to win first in this tournament. And I usually always play at least, my main lineup I always put in that tournament. Any interest in Herder or Olenek? Not really. I don't think so. Yeah, I just don't think I'm really interested in either one of those guys. Any bump for Georges Niang tonight? I mean, probably not. I mean, he probably gets decent minutes off the bench, but Maxi's playing, Milton's playing. They still have Thibault. They still have Danny Green. Like, there's plenty of other guys they have ahead of Niang right now. Levine or Levert? I would side with Levert. I think Levert's a really good low-owned play today. Nobody's going to play Levert, I don't think. I definitely like his upside now that Garland's out and now that Levert's starting at point guard. If Suggs plays, would that get you off of Anthony? I wouldn't have as much interest in Cole Anthony. He would still be playable, but tough matchup against Utah, blowout risk. Overall, I'm not too excited about many Orlando guys today. And I think we did already get word earlier that Suggs is expected to play. Thoughts on Poku? I don't hate Poku as a punt option. He's been getting good minutes lately. 26 minutes against Sacramento, 30 minutes last game against Toronto. I think Poku, like, even if this game gets ugly, like, Poku would still play in a blowout. So I think Poku's in play for value. Right now, I don't think he has like a super high minutes projection. He's only projected for 20 minutes, but there's definitely some scenarios where he plays way more than that, especially if this game blows out, because I think Poku would play in a blowout. So if you need the value, I don't hate it. There's other guys I prefer though, like Bones, Vassell, Brissett if he starts, Goga, like those guys I prefer, but he's still in play. Poku is. Capella 5,300. I know his minutes are iffy. Yeah, man, Capella's just a tough guy to go to right now. His minutes just haven't been there. He's getting like 22, 24 minutes a night, which just tough to roster him until we see the minutes go up. Russell or Levert on Yahoo? I would take Levert. Is 3 Hornets too many? Ball, Rozier, and Bridges I have in my lineup right now. I think that's okay. I mean, Charlotte's going to run just such a tight rotation that, probably those 3 guys probably all play close to 40 minutes if it's a close game. So I think, if you want to play Ball, Rozier, Bridges all in the same lineup, I don't hate it. O'Shea Brissett is starting. We don't have a Pacers starting lineup yet, but I think with Torrey Craig no longer on the team, with Justin Holiday no longer on the team, somebody's got to replace those guys in the starting lineup. I'm thinking the starting lineup will be Halliburton, Duarte, Goga, and then maybe Brissett at the 4 and Buddy Hield at the 3. But we don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see with the Pacers starting lineup. They could start Isaiah Jackson at the 4, I guess, but I think those will be the 5 starters. We'll have to wait and see though with the Pacers starting lineup. Power forward on Yahoo you like? Probably Miles Bridges if you can fit him. Brissett is minimum salary on Yahoo, so if he starts, I like Brissett for value. Oubre or Vassell for small forward on Yahoo? Give me Oubre straight up. Thoughts on the trades yesterday? I think we kind of discussed that yesterday. The Brooklyn-Philadelphia trade, I thought it was pretty good for both teams. Ben Simmons obviously was not going to work out in Philadelphia. He had to go somewhere else, so I'm excited to watch Ben Simmons play. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I think Ben Simmons is still a really good player. It wasn't working out for him in Philadelphia. And I think Harden, we'll have to see how Harden and Embiid play together. Those are 2 ball dominant, high usage players, so we'll have to see how they mesh. The one trade I don't understand is the Porzingis trade. I don't get that. Like, why did they? I mean, Porzingis, it hasn't gone well for him in Dallas so far, but man, trading Porzingis for Dinwiddie, I didn't really understand that. Especially when you already have Brunson as well. Cat or DeRozan? I would probably say Cat if I had to pick one. Your favorite prize picks play? Let's see. It's probably going to be one of these Charlotte guys. LaMelo over 44 fantasy points. I still really like that. Just because I think if this game's close, like LaMelo, Rozier, Bridges, these guys are playing 38, 40 minutes. Pretty easy for them to hit their projections when they're playing so much so many minutes. So really the Charlotte guys, LaMelo's fantasy points, Bridges fantasy points, Rozier, if you want to take his fantasy, you can, but you can also take 19.5 points. Rozier, usually when Rozier has a good game, it's because he's scoring a lot. So I think over 19.5 points for Terry Rozier looks good. I like all those Charlotte guys. I like all their overs. The main three, LaMelo, Bridges, Rozier. I was on their overs last game. I think LaMelo hit, Bridges hit, Rozier didn't, but I'll be back on them tonight for sure. Any interest in Halliburton with Brogdon out? I think Halliburton's in play for GPPs. It's really tough to tell what his role is going to be like with Indiana, but you got to think without Brogdon, without Turner, with Halliburton probably starting at point guard, he should have the ball in his hands a lot. Another prospects play I like, if you want to take this as well, is 6.5 assists for Halliburton. Halliburton, when he's the primary ball handler, we've seen him have double-digit assist games this year. Last game he had 17 freaking assists against OKC. I think getting 7 assists for Halliburton is very, very easily doable. So I think over 6.5 assists for Halliburton, especially with Brogdon out, that's another play I like on prospects. I think Halliburton's in play, though, for tournaments. What do you think of Kendrick at $12 and Royce O'Neal at 11? I'm kind of liking Royce versus Orlando. I think both are fine, Michael. O'Shea Brissett is minimum salary. He's $10. I like O'Shea Brissett if he starts, but those two guys are fine. Murray or Trey? I would take Murray straight up. Best $10 small forward for Yahoo? Man, I don't know if there's any $10 small forwards. Shit, you're probably playing God, you're probably playing Thibault. Thibault's your best bet if you had to pick anybody down there. What's up, man? Just subscribe to your Patreon, by the way. Hey, appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. Also on Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown's playable. But Boston, man, Boston's a team that I just don't really have much interest in today. They're pretty much fully healthy. They traded away Schroeder, and maybe that boosts the upside a little bit for Tatum and Brown, but I don't think on this slate, either one of Tatum or Brown really stand out. Boston, in my opinion, is one of the least appealing teams today. Does Harrell playing take you off PJ Washington? I still think PJ Washington will play a good amount. I think Harrell will replace, I'm blanking, Nick Richards. So Nick Richards last game played 14 or 15 minutes. I think Harrell will take all those minutes. Nick Richards won't even play today. I think PJ Washington still plays 25, 28 minutes. Just because Charlotte, they're going to run an 8-man rotation, pretty much. Harris, LeVert, Bridges, or Halliburton? That's close between Bridges and LeVert. Give me Bridges, but it's close. 5,200 or less for point guard. Oh, man. You're probably going all the way down to Bones at 3,800 because there's just not much I like in that price range. So I'd say Bones. Cole or Collins? So Cole Anthony or John Collins? Give me Cole Anthony. Center, 3,700 and under. I would play Brissett. Brissett's center eligible, and he's 3,700. If he starts, I like Brissett for value. Also on Baisley and Favors. Again, OKC's not a team I'm too excited about today. In this matchup against Embiid, I don't know what the hell OKC's going to do tonight. I think Derek Favors is going to have to play a lot because, let's see. Because JRE's out, Muscala's out. They waived Diakite. So the only bigs that the Thunder have are Baisley, who's a small ball 5, Poku, who's a small ball 5, Favors, and then they did activate Isaiah Roby. I think Favors plays as many minutes as he can, maybe 25 minutes. I don't hate Favors. I think he's playable. Baisley, I'm not as excited about. At his price tag, at least. Levine, LaMelo, or Mitchell? Give me LaMelo. Jaylen Brown or Rozier? If you have the salary, I would play Jaylen Brown if you have the salary. Young, Tatum, Towns, or DeRozan? Give me Trey there. LaMelo or Cole? Give me LaMelo. Jokic, Murray, or Embiid? Give me Jokic. Bridges, Jared Allen, or Jalen and D'Lo? Man, that's close. Give me the second, but that's a really close one. Also, Maudon, I don't think I'd play Maudon. I don't even know if he's been in the rotation lately. He got 31 minutes last game, but that might have just been due to blowout run. I guess if you want to play Maudon and hope it's a blowout, I don't think that's terrible, but yeah. I'm not excited. I would not be playing Maudon. Montrezl Harrell off the bench. I don't think Montrezl Harrell's in the player pool. Unless DraftKings added him. Yeah, he's not in the player pool. Unless you're playing like on FanDuel or Yahoo, then I guess you could play Montrezl Harrell, but he's not on the DraftKings player pool. Favorite 5,300 util? I mean, probably... It's probably like PJ Washington or Goga, like one of those two guys, if you don't have them already. So Noah, thanks for all the content you share with us every day. You the go Bengals. Hey, appreciate you, T Money. I think the Bengals win on Sunday. That's my pick for sure. So I'm saying go Bengals as well. Who play Bones for Denver? Yes, Bones for Denver. LaMelo or Cole? Give me LaMelo. Rozier or Cole Anthony? Give me Rozier. Will Brown be an okay fit versus Denver? Zach's more expensive on Yahoo. I mean, I'm fine playing Jaylen Brown if he fits. He's not someone that I'm really like going out of my way to play today, but if he fits in your lineup, I think it's like as a last piece, it's fine. Milton or Cork? I guess give me Court Mouse. Milton, I don't think like I think Milton's gonna be on a minutes limit. He hasn't played in like a month, so I don't think I'd be playing Shake Milton. Trey or Murray? Give me Deontay Murray. Thoughts on Goga and Brissett together? I mean, as long as they're starting, as long as they're both starting, I don't have any issue with it. I mean, when they're starting, they're not really going to take minutes away from each other if they're starting alongside each other. So that's, you shouldn't worry about that. Playing those guys together is totally fine. LaMelo and Oubre or Murray and Hunter? Give me LaMelo and Oubre. Is Korkmaz in play? I would have been more excited about Korkmaz if Milton and Maxey were out. Since Milton and Maxey are playing, I'm not too excited about Korkmaz, but maybe with Seth Curry, no longer on the team, that opens up a few more minutes for Korkmaz. He's a playable value, but not really like towards the top of my list. Favorite center 4K or less? It's got to be O'Shea Brissett. If he starts, he's 3,700 and center eligible. Thoughts on Mason Plumlee? Yeah, I think Mason Plumlee might be the guy that takes the biggest hit with the Montrezl Harrell trade, because I think Montrezl Harrell could definitely take minutes away from Plumlee. Whereas I think PJ Washington will still get pretty good run. I'm not that high on Mason Plumlee, personally, especially now that Harrell is available to play. Appreciate your insights, Noah. Just subscribe to your Patreon. Hey, appreciate that, Philip. Hope the Patreon content helps, my man. And if you are a Patreon member, make sure to get in the Discord. I'm always in Discord. Usually after I hop off the stream, I'll answer questions for the Patreon members in the Discord. So definitely get in the Discord if you haven't yet. You think Keldon Johnson's production increases a bit with White gone? It could. I think the biggest beneficiary long term is going to be Devin Vassell. I think Devin Vassell is going to start while White's or with White no longer on the team. Devin Vassell is going to be a starter. Devin Vassell is going to play big minutes, but maybe Keldon Johnson gets a little boost as well. Your thoughts on Jeremy Grant? I mean, it's a good matchup. I think Cade being in is a slight downgrade for Grant, for Sadiq Bey, for Hamidou Diallo, but the matchup against Charlotte is pretty good that I still don't mind Jeremy Grant. I think he is playable. Oubre or Barton? I would take Oubre. Ish Smith and play. Ish Smith is not on the slate, my man. Ish Smith got traded. Okoro or Thibault? God, give me Thibault if I had to pick one. I don't feel great about either one. Walker or Hunter? Or Herter? Give me Lonnie Walker. You think Plumlee covers his 8.5 rebounds with Harrell? I mean, I think they're not going to play Harrell and Plumlee together. The main issue with Plumlee is that his minutes go down. Like, there's a good chance that if Montrezl Harrell is playing really well, he's going to take minutes away from Plumlee. But it's not like those two guys aren't going to be on the court together, so you don't have to worry about Plumlee, losing rebounds to Harrell because they're not going to play together. The issue with Plumlee is that he might not play as many minutes now that they have Harrell they can give minutes to. I don't know if I'd be betting Plumlee props today. I wouldn't feel great about those. Cat or Vooch? Give me Vooch. Donovan Mitchell or Russell? Give me Donovan Mitchell. Thoughts on Zach Collins for Yahoo minimum center? Man, I don't think I'd play Zach Collins. I mean, I think you're just you're throwing a dart there. I mean, he's the backup center at this point. Like, if Jakob Poeltl plays 34 minutes, that means Zach Collins is playing 14 minutes. I mean, Zach Collins played 17 minutes last game. Like, I just don't play these guys. I don't expect Zach Collins to average 2 fantasy points per minute. So, if he plays 15 minutes and puts up 25 fantasy points, then, so be it, whatever. But I think playing these guys like Zach Collins that are going to get 15, 18 minutes, like, these just aren't guys you want to be playing. especially not on a 7-game slate. Brissett or Thibault? Give me Brissett if he starts. Should I do balance of Allen and another player or Embiid and minimum player? I mean, it depends who that other guy is that you're playing with Embiid. Like, if you can get Embiid and Brissett, or Embiid and Bones, or Embiid and Vassell, like, I like those combos. But if you have to play someone at the minimum, I don't think there's anyone at the minimum that I would play. Levine or Donovan Mitchell? Give me Levine. The blowout risk in that Utah game has me a little bit hesitant on Mitchell, so give me Levine. Oubre or Rozier? I would take Rozier straight up. Who benefits with no White on San Antonio? Devin Vassell is going to be the guy that benefits. They've already said that he's going to start in place of Derek White, so Devin Vassell should be the biggest beneficiary in terms of, increase in minutes and overall value. Give me 2 studs. 2 studs. Jokic and Embiid. There you go, buddy. Love or Mobley? If I had to pick one, I would say Evan Mobley. Poku 3.5K. We talked about Poku earlier. His minutes have been going up. If this game does get ugly, I think Poku will play in a blowout. So I don't hate Poku for value. I can see a lot of ways he gets there, especially if the game does get ugly. How do you feel about Diallo? I think now that Cade Cunningham's playing, I'm a little hesitant on Diallo. I think Diallo's upside isn't as high with Cade back in the lineup. I didn't think Cade was going to play today, but he is. Any 3K guys you recommend? I mean, Stone minimum 3K. I don't think there's anyone Stone minimum that I'd play. But, you have Bones Highland 3,800. You have Brissett, if he starts, 3,700. Those are guys you can play in the 3K range. Cole Anthony still a play if Suggs is in. He would still be viable, but I would not be as excited. And we've already got word that Suggs is going to play, or he expects to play. So I'm not too excited about Cole Anthony with Suggs expected to play. Gogan Oubre or Robert Williams and Highland? Give me Robert Williams and Highland. Like the video, y'all. Hardest working DFS man in the game. Appreciate you, DD. Appreciate you, my man. We're going to answer these last few questions, then we'll hop out of here, guys. Appreciate you every day. Love talking basketball with you. Hey, Elvin, appreciate you tuning in, my man. Have 3 good prize picks for tonight. I was hoping you could give me 1 prize pick you feel confident about. We talked about it earlier. I think the Charlotte guys on prize picks I do like. So if you want to go over on LaMelo fantasy points, Miles Bridges fantasy points, Rozier fantasy points, or points, like if it's a close game, LaMelo, Rozier, Bridges, these guys are playing 38, 40 minutes. So taking their overs is something I do like. And another pick I like quite a bit now that Brogdon's out is over 6.5 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. That's another pick you could take if you wanted to. But those are some of my favorite picks for prize picks tonight. If you guys want all my favorite picks on prize picks along with the entries that I'm putting my own money on that I'm playing myself, give those out on Patreon. If you're interested in all of my prize picks plays along with all of my other updated DFS content, that's all available on Patreon. You can check it out down below. 4K value, if you're looking for a value play at 4K exactly, I would probably go Vassell or Bones, one of those two. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Best of luck tonight. 7-game Friday night slate. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. You guys know that I normally don't stream or upload on the weekend, so I will see you guys back here on Monday. We do have the Super Bowl on Sunday, so enjoy the Super Bowl. Go Bengals. I got the Bengals winning. I will have a video up for the Super Bowl. I'll have a video up for the Showdown slate that is going up later tonight. So if you're playing the NFL Showdown slate on Sunday, which I'm sure most of you probably are, I will have a video posted for the Showdown slate. It'll be up later tonight. But good luck, guys. We'll see you back here on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.